Hi, my lovely assistant Natalie and I are here today to teach you how to make some edible rocks. That sound good? I don't know.
All the ingredients.
Yes, we have all the ingredients up in front of us. You might want to gather your ingredients beforehand. And we're going to talk about the story and how these edible rocks are going to apply to our life with Jesus. Now, Jesus told many stories, and in each story, he taught us an important lesson. And when a story teaches us a lesson, it has a special name. We call it a parable, right, Natalie? A parable. It's kind of a hard word to say.
Parable.
So this story is called the Parable of the House on the Rock. And it comes from Matthew chapter 7, verse 24 through 28. Everyone then who hears these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on a rock. The rain fell, the wind blew, and the floods came and beat on that house. But it did not fall because it had been founded on a rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. Right. The rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew against that house and beat it, and that house fell. And great was its fall. She's not hurt. Good job, Natty. Now, when Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were astounded at his teaching. So I would like you, before we start cooking, to think about the difference between rock and sand. What do you think?
When the rock it gets hit with everything, it's like the first time it's good, but the second time it isn't because it kept on getting beaten.
But it's on a rock, so it's got a firm foundation and it cannot be shook.
The rock is on the sand.
Right. And the sand, it shifts and it moves and the waves come in and out and the sands keep moving, but a rock is firm and it does not move. And you're going to have storms in your life. Different storms are going to come about. Things will happen. And if your life is built on Jesus' teaching, you are on a firm, solid foundation. And you have built your house on a rock. And you will be able to weather any storm that comes your way because you know Jesus is with you. So, let's get going on our edible rocks. I have all our ingredients listed here. You have your ingredients in your packet that they sent out to you.
Yeah.
And the first thing I'm going to do is I've turned my oven on. And I've got it on 375. Then I'm going to take my cooking spray and I'm going to spray my cookie sheet. Grease it up so the cookies don't stick. There we go. All right, so we've got that done. All right, so we're going to melt this butter right here. I'm going to put it in the microwave, and we're going to melt it. And while we're melting that, and I'm sorry, I should have said the most important thing. Before we started videoing, Natalie and I had already washed our hands. So before you start gathering your ingredients and cooking, please remember to wash your hands. That was rule number 1 right there. Instruction number 1 right there. Wash your hands. Grease the cookie sheets. So we're going to put the brown sugar into the mixing bowl. Go ahead, dump it in there. Good job. Just put the bowl off to the side. That sounded solid, didn't it? There's our brown sugar. And we're going to get our melted butter out of the microwave.
And melted?
Yep, it is melted. And we're going to stir that butter into that brown sugar.
It looks tasty.
Then it says we need to get the vanilla. Do you remember which one of those was the vanilla?
This one?
That little brown liquid, yeah?
Little brown.
There was our vanilla. So we're going to do it. Natalie has already cracked the egg into the bowl.
Yeah.
And we're going to put
This is the egg.
the egg and it's already cracked and beaten. In it goes.
Hold it in.
I always like baking. You know, the ingredients don't always taste all that great on their own.
Yeah.
But when you mix them all together.
That looks yummy.
All right, so we're stirring. Would you like to keep giving that a little bit of a stir for me, please? Now, I've already measured out whole wheat flour, white flour, all-purpose flour, my soda, and my salt. And I am going to put that into a separate mixing bowl, which I'm just going to use this one right here. So I'm going to add my wheat flour to my white flour. And I'm going to put my soda in there. And I'm going to put my salt in there. And we're going to stir that together. Excuse me, my lovely assistant. I forgot to get a spoon to stir this one together. Oh, that's beautiful. And now we're stirring this one together. And after we get this one, it says that we are going to carefully add it to the main mixing bowl and keep a stir until everything is moist. So we're going to add that in there and keep stirring, Natalie, until we get it. Everything is moist. Oh, yeah, you can see it coming in there. All right, and we're stirring that up. May I help you just a little bit, please? Thank you. All right, so just stir it on in there. Oh, it's turning all brown. Yeah. Everything's getting mixed in. It's getting a little bit firm, like a dough.
Like a rock, too.
Oh, like a rock. There you go. Like a rock of dough. Oh, do you think these cookies, edible rocks, you think they're going to be hard?
No, I don't know.
All right, now we're going to put that pineapple that we worked so hard to drain. We drained the pineapple very, very well. And it says add the pineapple.
What?
And those chocolate chips that you've been eyeing. Dump them in. That was Natalie's favorite part. I don't know about you. All right, and we're going to keep mixing it until it's all mixed in.
I think the chocolate chips make it like a rock.
Oh, you think those look like little rocks in there?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so we got that all mixed up good. And then we're going to drop it by a teaspoonful, which we should use a smaller spoon. Let's use this spoon here. Yeah. And so it says to drop it, let's see, drop teaspoons of cookie dough onto the greased cookie sheet. So I'm going to move this over here. Oh, leave that spoon in there, please, sweetie. Thank you, ma'am. We'll need that to scrape all that goodness off the side. All right, so we're going to do a teaspoonful onto the cookie sheet. Now, I find out when baking cookies, you do want to use a same measure because when your cookies are baking, if they're all the same size, they'll all cook the same amount. If they're not the same size, then some might cook faster than others. So we're just going to put these on here, just like that. Fill your cookie sheet up. You might have one cookie sheet. Looks like I might have 2 cookie sheets. So we're going to have them on our cookie sheets like that, and we're going to pop those in the oven for 7 minutes. We'll be back through the magic of television when the cookies are baked. See you in a little while. So we're back in the magic of television. I actually had to bake these for about 10 minutes or 11 minutes, maybe even 12 minutes. As anybody who knows me knows, I am a pie baker. Cookies are not my strong suit, but my assistant says, how do they smell?
Good.
Says they smell good. Now we've let these cool for just a little bit, and I want to show you they're a nice, come out a nice brown on the bottom, golden on top. These are still warm, so my assistant is going to take a sample for us and give us her opinion on how they came out, because once you let them cool, it's still too hot?
Can I eat it?
Yeah, you may take a bite. Of course, you got to try it, right? I don't know what's rocky about it.
Good.
Mmm. There you go. Edible rocks. Enjoy.